All right, let's go ahead and begin. So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right. All right. Well, thanks for coming to the AR Science Fair. We are going to cover some rules, what it's about, why AR is important, where we think it's going, and some really cool stuff at the end as far as being able to get a prize for your students and for yourself as well. So let's jump right in. I do want to thank our sponsors, which is Microsoft and El Paso Electric. They're the local electric company provider out here in El Paso, Texas. My professional background, I'm Joseph Sapien, Executive Director for STTE, which stands for Success Through Technology Education. And what we really want to do is keep pushing innovative STEM education programs for youth, primarily in middle school and high school. So I've been the creator of STEM Business Plan Competition, a large multi-dimensional expo. Also created the first ever AR Science Fair. We're doing some stuff in business model, learning entrepreneurship using AR. I've ran 2 startups and I've raised about $2.5 million through the course of my career. So like I mentioned, stay tuned to the end to see what prize we're going to be giving away. So here's a quick little video of, what Assembler, which is the platform that we're using to have students design their science fair projects. So it's a very robust 3D modeling system that's easy to use. And right here, they're demoing a demonstration of how they are dissecting a frog and being able to see all of the parts of a frog. So this is the platform that we are using to allow students and teachers to create their science fair projects. Okay, so let me move along. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. Let me stop this. Let's go. Let me move on. Okay. Okay, got it. Chrome tab. All right. So augmented reality versus virtual reality. I think there's a misconception of people thinking sometimes VR is similar to AR, and they're 2 different, right? So AR gives you the ability to overlay images in a real world. So with VR, you're kind of confined into a unit that is blocked off from the rest of the world. You're in an immersive environment. With AR, you're obviously augmenting reality with being able to provide overlap digital contents and content as you experience day-to-day life. So just to give you guys some examples of, we use AR. We're starting to use it more and more through, Snapchat filters, Instagram filters. In education, VR is being used for, educational. I think the life sciences is really a predominant education field that they're using AR and VR. And then, it's as hardware starts to advance, I think we're going to see an exponential growth in AR. And so, you have the HoloLens. There's a lot of glasses that are going to be coming out in 2 to 3, maybe even 5 years. We'll see a lot of hardware out in the marketplace. So, some stats to support why we feel AR is going to be growing rapidly. If you look at 5G connections, this is according to Qualcomm. By 2025, there's going to be about 3.1 billion 5G global connections by the end of the year. So right now we're at about 1.9% or 1.9 billion. This is going to be a very important statistic to track, because as 5G grows, well, then that means that the accessibility to the hardware grows. So to present another chart is we're looking at, if you were to look at today versus 1 to 4 years and then 5 to 10 years, the hardware, the VR, the AR have a lot of very cumbersome, or you have to connect it to your smartphones. There is some VR that's standalone VR, but it's still kind of heavy, right? As we go out into 1 to 4 more years, you'll start to see that the Bluetooth capabilities, powering and connecting with the hardware, will start to be a little bit more streamlined. And then obviously as 5G, like the graph I showed you, starts to accelerate, well, then now we're going to be able to run the software on the hardware 5 to 10 years less, giving your glasses a lot more fashion and power. Okay. So one more stat that I want to throw at you is this one was provided by our friends at Assembler. They basically are showing that AR versus VR and global education technology expenditures in the US. So as you can see, by 2018, you can see the AR as it compares, AR, VR as it compares to AI, robotics, and blockchain. So you can see that there's a significant growth going to happen in this area versus AI and robotics and blockchain. So nothing against my friends that run robotics, but I think when it looks at getting kids engaged, I feel like AR will be and VR will be the more emerging, accessible, appealing technologies for kids to want to compete in and explore. So anyway, so we're really excited about these statistics. So optimizing the use of AR in education is motivated by the need to support teaching and learning activities, right? You guys, educators, know how especially in this pandemic, having an engaging way or finding ways to get the kids engaged has been kind of the new norm, if you will. And so AR and VR give you that. The emerging trend of distance learning, we know that, right? There's now, with COVID, there now could be a growth in, being able to provide distance learning at some capacity, or it's gonna grow in nature. And then the latest technology developments that can support a virtual-based learning experience. So again, as technology develops and advances, how to apply these to learning experiences. So this is a cool video I found on the internet that I always like to show people to think about the future, right? And the graphs show you 5 to 10 years from now. So if you have 8th graders, you're looking at those being by the time they're seniors, right? Just to put on a timeline of how potentially they could be experiencing the world through their lens, right? And there's a lot of jobs behind all of this, right? There's marketing, there's modelers, there's programmers. There's going to be an exponential growth in supporting these type of industries. So let me play this video. I probably played about 3 to 4 minutes of it. Okay, so.
Great. Nice. Great.
Constante. Apúrate si quieres una buena calificación.
Voy lo más rápido que puedo.
¿Has pensado en correr? Es saludable y eficiente.
Seguro que no hay más trabajos disponibles. Estudié para ser profesora y estoy haciendo mercados.
Y además puedes quedarte con los puntos de fidelización. Eres una amante afortunada. Tienes que confiar en la aplicación. ¿Te sientes inspirada? Gracias. Chao.
¿Quién soy yo? No, no es lo que quiero decir. ¿Para dónde voy? No. Puedo volver a empezar. Olvídalo.
Estoy presente ahora. Estoy libre de mi ira. Estoy libre parte de mi triste
Aquí. Bueno. Hola otra vez. Ay, no, cállate.
Queso. Queso de vaca. Queso de
¿Qué está pasando? Hay que seguir trabajando.
Estoy trabajando en eso, pero necesito verificar tu información biométrica. Por favor, sigue la línea azul hasta el centro de servicio más cercano para confirmar tu identidad.
Sí, pero mis puntos están bien.
Todo está bien. Chao.
¿Qué? ¿Qué es esto? ¿Qué está pasando? No, mis puntos, mis puntos. ¿Qué hago? ¿Qué hago?
So that's just an experience that I always like to share with people about like the future of AR. You know, you're experiencing a bunch of advertisements. Your phone is connected to your glasses. You're able to answer calls, text message, just tons of communication being consumed by the user. And we're gonna need a lot of jobs to support these type of future careers, right? Like all this technology is going to need jobs. So what we hope to, by having the AR Science Fair, being able to have kids learn how to understand this emerging technology and then how to apply it to everyday life. So what we feel is the AR Science Fair will give kids that experience, and then they're going to go ahead and have fun creating in it, building confidence, and then ultimately being able to win prizes. So let me share my screen now, more about the competition in itself. So the first ever Augmented Reality Science Fair, it's open to middle school and high school students in Texas. We also are including the Southern New Mexico area. You can win prizes and cash and scholarships. And we have some great partners, Microsoft, El Paso Electric, and then we have some other partners that have been helping kind of with the design and, helping with the program in its entirety. So why AR Science Fair? Obviously, there's a learning gap on the horizon, and we want our students to succeed. During the pandemic, educators struggle with finding a balance between immersive learning experiences and effective technology that functions seamlessly, like with Zoom and Microsoft Teams. The challenge is also carrying over into the administration of science fairs. So when you think of the science fairs this year, a lot of them are either being done just with a Google slide deck. There's no constructing. There's no, there's no hands-on activity. So we feel that the AR Science Fair will be able to deliver and help support kids with their creative ideas and be able to help them kind of still experience those hands-on activities. So with your participation, we do want to, grow this model not only in Texas but nationally. So by you competing, you'll be part of the first cohort. We have electronic, the whole science fair process. So everything is electronic when it comes to submitting your hypothesis and filling out your the science fair requirements. Everything is done through a form that they fill out online at arsciencefair.com. And then there's a ton of videos that support them and help them kind of learn assembler and be able to build their augmented reality science fair. So the team composition is for middle schools. We're looking at 1 to 2 members for each team. Okay, and then for high schools, they can have up to 3 team members per project. So again, I think it's good to have some form of a team atmosphere for the competitors. And my experience with doing competitions at the high school level, when we do coding, we typically do maybe it's individual or up to 1 to 2 members for some of our coding competitions. But for this one, we're doing 1 to 2 members for the middle school, and then up to 3 for the high school level teams. This is a quick demo of some of the technology that we run off of our app, our Say What app. So this is our entrepreneurship program. So just imagine the students being able to present their science fair projects in this manner, where the trigger would happen when they scan a specific QR code, or just something that would trigger their AR science fair to actually be able to be demoed via app. So anybody anywhere can see it. Long-term plans, guys, and teach educators is that we plan to create an AR science fair book. So we're going to take the top applications or the top models and the top teams, and then we're going to publish them in a virtual book, and then we might even publish it hard copy. And then as students start to scan these pages, they'll be able to experience and learn more about the sciences of what was done. So really first of its kind. We're excited about it, and we need your support for competitors. So there's 5 categories that the AR Science Fair presents. Okay, there's education, life sciences, business, research and applications of knowledge, and futuristic thinking. So when you look at the science fairs for the state of Texas, what we've done is we've created 5 categories, and then within those categories, we align them with the Texas Science Fair category. So you'll see if you go to arsciencefair.com, you'll pick a theme, and then within that theme, education, it'll branch out into the alignment with the Texas Science Fair category. So that way, we're not trying to compete. We're just trying to add to giving students the ability to create more different ways to present their science fair projects. So, just giving you a heads up of these are their 5 themes. And again, like I mentioned, we are alignment with the Texas Science and Engineering Fair as far as their categories. So if you go to arsciencefair.com, again, you scroll down, you'll click a category, and then the category will open up, and then you'll be able to select which category under that theme that you want to compete in. So our model consists of, merging science, computer science, and business together. And so the thing I forgot to mention is for the high school, the differential, we're gonna gauge a little bit different for the high school is we're actually thinking about having students that are in the high school science fair put a go-to-market strategy. So for instance, they came up with a problem, they identified it, they have a solution. Now, as a researcher or a entrepreneur, how would you take that, what you found, and apply it to a business and try and get maybe funding for your lab or your research, or maybe you came up with a solution that there's a problem with and it could be actually viable and profitable. So we did want to add a layer of entrepreneurship into the high school track, and that's just to continue to promote entrepreneurship within the sciences. So we bring together science, technology in an innovative way. And then obviously the interdisciplinary coursework through project-based learning. So last is leveraging science and technology integration to help students dream of becoming career leaders in science and tech. So the timeline is simple, okay? Today or going forward from now, you download the Assembler app, which I'll share shortly. And then you register your team at arsciencefair.com. There's a registration button at the top. And then the final project submissions is April 30th. The reason why we chose April 30th is this gives time for the regional and the school science fairs to be completed. So our market really is to try and go after the science fairs after they're done, being able to give the students another opportunity to apply for cash prizes and scholarships after the science fair is over. So they've done all the work. Now they just got to input their findings in our platform, and then they got to do the design of the 3D model or AR model with Assembler. So winners will be announced on May 21st of 2020, right at the end of the school year. So teachers, don't worry. This is not a competition that we expect. We recognize the challenge that has been bestowed upon you this past year, this current school year with COVID. And, it's not something that we want to add more burden to your workload. So what we've done is we created a tutorial archive of videos that show the students exactly how to use the Assembler app step by step. And so as they go through the 45 videos, by the end of it, they should understand how to use the app and be able to design their project. So in an ideal scenario, perhaps you want to give it to them as a during school process or during school time to develop. And then so they would download the app. The app is free. And they would go ahead and do the videos on their own, be able to, maybe do 10 a day, 5 a day, depending on your their learning, their learning style. So anyway, the videos are all posted on arsciencefair.com/workshops. So here's the prizes. Okay, we got first place for the middle school is 200, and then for the high school it's 500. Second place is 100, and then high school 300. Third place 50 and 200. And then for being a finalist, right now we have funding for 50 finalists. They would get a gift card. Okay, so anytime I love rewarding kids. Whether it's a gift card, whether it's cool tech, whatever. But we definitely do. My foundation, we do cash prizes, and then the gift cards will probably be Amazon gift cards. So I want to introduce or show you who our partner is at Assembler. They're out of Indonesia. Okay, so I've used their product before in the past and approached them with the AR Science Fair, and they enjoyed it. They loved the idea and have been very helpful in creating the videos and really kind of helping us be presenting this this new model. So they put a video together for you all that I'm going to play next. And this is Anita. She's a co-founder for Assembler.
Hi, everyone. I'm Anita from Assembler. It's nice to meet you guys. I'd like to introduce you to our on-the-go platform, Assembler EDU. Assembler EDU is a mobile app, desktop app, and browser-based that allows you to create more fun and accessible learning experience. Powered by augmented reality or AR, teachers and students can access or create their own fascinating 3D visuals to present in the classroom just for any subjects. As we all know, frequently, students have a hard time grasping lessons through mere 2D images. So do educators, who often have to explain abstract and difficult concepts without adequate teaching aids, props, or even models. That's why we brought Assembler EDU to spark up your classroom. Why use Assembler EDU? Assembler EDU has powerful features in one application. First one is online classroom. This is like Google Classroom, but better. You can make countless classrooms for teachers and students to be able to organize their classes and start assigning lessons. The second one is topic or lessons. We have provided a lot of topics or lessons that you can use right away without the hassle of having to create one. There are biology, chemistry, physics, life science, and many more. The third feature is scan feature. So this feature lets you to scan image markers or QR markers, and then you can bring out the AR content on top of the marker. The fourth one is create. So if you can't find your desired lesson on our topics page, you can simply create one yourself. It's easy as drag and drop, accompanied by our rich library of 3D assets.
And that was a little explanation of Assembler Edu. Now, since you have warmed yourself up, let's take a closer look at our topics in our platform. So, this is our topics. As you can see, we have varied topics that might be suitable for the subjects that you teach. Okay, let's choose one. I think I'm gonna go with biology. Here you can see many kinds of biology lessons. You can scroll it up to find the lessons. But for now, let's try with this 5 senses lesson, shall we? To view the lesson, you can choose between these two options. Okay, let's start with the 3D view first. And here's how the lesson looks like. You can change the slides and see more information through the annotation here. Now, I'm gonna try to play it in AR view. Let's close this first, and then tap here. Then scan your surroundings to place your object. For your information, you can also resize the object and see them through any angle. Now, what if you can't find any lessons that you want? Well, you can try to create your own lesson using our editors. You can access the editors through your profile. Then tap this button and there you go. You're one step closer in creating your own lesson. Okay, now you're probably wondering, how do I create my own lessons in Assembler Edu? Great one, because we will cover it all now. Let's go!
What we haven't done now is to make our own educational AR project. Luckily, making lessons in 3D and AR is fairly easy. Tap this button to start. This time, we'll try Simple Editor. So, here we are. This is the empty space where you can put anything. You can swipe the screen as you like to look around. Tap this plus button. Now here, you can choose to add 3D object, text, image, video, or notes. Let's try 3D object first. We'll find our library here. It's a collection of objects that we have provided, which you can use freely into your lessons. As you can see, there are a lot of categories: furnitures, education, animals, people, buildings, even robot parts and fantasy objects. Okay, now let's create something out of the library that I have just introduced to you guys. I'll put a chicken on the middle of the marker area. I will have to open the library first, and I will go to the animal page. Okay, sorry, the animal section. So I will put a chicken. So I'll put a chicken on the middle. So this is the chicken. And you can touch anywhere in the marker area to place the object. You can drag and swipe in the empty area to view it from different angles. Now, tap the chicken. You'll see the transform buttons to lift, scale, and rotate the object. Just drag and pull these buttons to transform your object. If you made a mistake, don't worry. Just tap these arrows to undo or redo. I think we can add more chicken. To multiply an object, use the duplicate tool here. Now, let's pull up some more from the library. Okay, now I will try to add 3D text by pressing this button. You can type and tweak the text right here. I'll name this one fraction. Feel free to modify the font, color, and the thickness. Last one, I'll add some notes. Pin it here and type the text here. You can add as many notes as you like and pin it anywhere on your work. And our first educational content is done. How to scan a marker. Scan the QR marker that has been downloaded and use the scan menu to view the AR project. Where's the scan feature? You can simply go back to the main page of the app, and on the bottom menu, you will find the scan button. Tap that button and it will direct you to camera mode.
So as you can see, their technology is very friendly on the user, offers a lot of creative ways for the students to explore AR, and most importantly, you know, it's just it's very seamless. It's easy to use, especially in this pandemic, right? So I think as an educator, you're looking for ways to help get these kids learning on their own, on their off time, the weekends, after school, during school. There's just plenty of ways. So let me wrap up my presentation with the last slides. So here's the QR code to download Assembler. Okay, it is available on the Google and iOS Google Play Store. So accessible, it's cross-platform. You can use it on your phone, you can use it on your tablets, or even a desktop. So why join? Be part of the first cohort. You know, I can't stress it enough. I think anytime you're the first of anything you want to be able to be an early adopter. So I really want to encourage the teachers to get a class of students to compete. It's easy, fun STEM competition. Again, we provide students the ability to self-learn on their own. Okay, so if you go to the /workshops, you'll see all of the tutorial videos to get the students to learn how to use it, and then win cash prizes, and be a part of getting published in the first AR Science Fair book. So my goal as executive director for STTE is to take this model and apply for National Science Foundation grants. So it'd be nice to have, I think we had a teacher in here earlier from San Antonio. You know, how cool would that be to have a Texas, different students and schools compete from all over Texas. So, you know, I really would encourage you guys to apply. We have a very good time frame, so it's not like you have to be rushed. And now to collect your prize, you have to just scan this QR code and fill out a brief form. And Assembler is going to give you a premium version of Assembler, so at no cost. So our good friends over there have really come together to say, hey, you know what could we do to even, you know, give the teachers a little bit more incentive? So scan the QR code, fill out the brief form there, and shouldn't take you more than, you know, 1 minute to fill out that form. And they're going to contact you with the access for their premium version, which includes a lot more of you know, tools that you didn't see today. So I want to thank our sponsors of Microsoft and El Paso Electric. And thank you. I'll open up to any questions that that you guys may have. I want to thank you for sticking with me to the end. And hopefully we get you guys in the competition. It's a very, very fun competition. Hopefully, like to see. Can you go back to the QR code? Sure. Let me go back real quick. Let's see here. Share screen. Okay. So go ahead and scan that code, fill out the Google form, and our friends at Assembler will contact you. And actually, it's like 2:00 in the morning over there right now, but Anita just texted me, how's it going? So she's up right now. So anyway, just fill out that form again, and they'll set you up with a premium version. Depending if you have students that want to compete, they'll also look to give the students the premium version as well. So different ways to compete, but we definitely need the teachers to support this initiative. And again, the dates have been set. So if maybe you have some students that aren't, but the science fair teacher or the science teacher, and you say, hey, there's this competition that I was at the CS conference, sounds really cool. Go ahead and connect them with me, and I'd be happy to kind of do a presentation to that teacher so we can help grow this model. It says you need permission and only for users in this organization. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me send a screenshot of that real quick and let them know that. Let me send it to her right now. So I apologize. Give me 1 second. She's on standby, so let me just send her this screenshot. And any questions? I wish I could hear you guys. This is kind of the first of. How about this, Verena? Can you send me put your email in the chat, and I'll make sure to send it to Anita. Okay, got it. So I will. I'll send her an email, and I'll copy you, and that way she can make sure that you get the premium version and the prize there. So, any other questions? Verena, what do you think of the competition? If you could just say in the chat, like, what your thoughts are on it. Can you send me my email as well? Can you send me in my email? Yep, I'll send it to you too, Kat. So I'll send it to you. But I guess we're close to the time limit here. Any other questions, Oscar? Happy to answer any questions. I'll put my email too in the chat. So if you want to reach out to me directly. I'm interested in getting my students involved. It has been difficult with virtual students versus in-person students. Yep. So good point. I think if you go, the workshops are definitely, they're all online. Maybe as a teacher, go through a few of them to start, have them download the app, have them play around with it. Maybe one day it's just like class time is just play with it, get acclimated with it, and then start the tutorials, because the competition's not very difficult. We want it to be fun for the kids, but it just does, you do have to fill in the components for the science fair process. So your hypothesis, your solution, your findings, there's a button to upload your data, things like that. So there's that component of it, and then there's the designing and the AR component. So we're just trying to make it as easy as possible, but yet there is still some learning and some work that they have to do, some research. So cool. I want to thank you again for your time. I will, as soon as we hang up here, I'm going to send an email to Anita, and then we will edit the form. Okay, she said she updated the link. It's now public. So let me just go one more last time. Share my screen, and then I'll put that QR code back up there and see if it works now. So go ahead and do it now, and then check that. Kat and Verena, if you're there, Oscar, if you have some students too, that'd be cool. But go ahead and scan it. 3, I'll bring it down. Okay. All right. And then Kat, I did post I don't know how early you're with me, but I did post the dates. You were asking earlier about the dates and stuff for the competition. I went ahead and released those today. So just in case, I'll do that. I'll flash that on the screen for you, Kat, just so you can see that. One second, Kat. So the important dates here. There you go. So download the app, register at AR Science Fair, submit the final projects by April 30th. I extended it a little bit further because I want to give students and teachers more time to, not feel so rushed. So April 30th is when the projects will be due. By that time, we should have some more science fair projects and regional science fair completed. This gives kids another chance to compete. So winners will be announced May 21st. And I just wanted to put that up there on the screen for you, Kat, because I know you had asked me previously. So again, thank you for everyone's. Nope, still doesn't work. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'll do this. I'll send an email as soon as we hang up, and then I will copy you and see what the problem is there. So again, thank you, and have a good rest of your weekend, and appreciate it.